everybody. It's Ross Korzhevsky, the host of the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show. It is 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's another Tuesday, another opportunity for us to be able to get to spend the next 30 minutes with all of you who are deciding to join us today. Once again, thank you so much for coming and taking the time out of your day. Maybe you're at work, maybe you're at home, but we're glad that you're here. Continue to like and share and help us spread the message of the wellness way that is coming from the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show. And once again, today I'm joined by the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, the only one who can speak to your hormones in a way that will really make a difference. And that is the hormone whisperer himself, Dr. Patrick Flynn. My brother, what's going on?
A lot of great stuff. I actually missed you last week. Dr. Mitch
I
did
missed
a
me
wonderful
too.
Job, and it was kind of funny. I told him a little bit. I said, I adjusted. He went totally nauseous and went into the bathroom. And
It was
really
like
dizzy. It was
a
awesome.
trigger. I could not stop what took place.
It was awesome.
Oh, I'm glad you think. Every time there's like an illness that comes into my home, I'll say, hey, man, my daughter, she's got, chicken pox or she's puking. He's like, that's great.
Perfect.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Actually, I loved when your daughter got chicken pox, because then my daughter got chicken
Oh, I know. You're like, hey, Leslie, can you bring over your daughter and she can play with my kids?
That's right.
That's going to mess with a lot of you, but that's what this show is about. It's
That's
raw,
right.
unscripted, and it's all about to challenge the way that you think and approach healthcare,
Yes.
how you view the right approach to taking care of yourself, possibly your husband, your wife, or even your kids. So with that, hey, let's talk about a couple of amazing things that are going on right now. You've got a campaign that you launched that ties into your quick tips that you do every Saturday.
Which has been going crazy.
And it's called I Want Your Crap.
Yes.
And I love this because what you did as a topic, by the way, those of you that want to know about the quick tips, you can go to basically the YouTube page.
Dr. Patrick Flynn.
And you'll see the quick tips there. And this one focused on the topic of autoimmune disease.
Diseases.
And that's where you kicked off the campaign for I Want Your Crap, because we're doing a special giveaway, which is
crappy.
Crappy. No, it's a stool sample. It's a test. Yeah. What are we giving away? The campaign. Yes. In 2 weeks.
We're giving a stool sample away because, once again, it's a very amazing test that I believe is not done enough. It's not done in medical practice really at all.
Right.
And people say, no, doc, my doctor actually tested my stool. Yeah, he's looking for something you picked up in Mexico.
Right. Montezuma's revenge.
Or you picked up a parasite from Africa on a mission trip. But what happens is that even your own normal flora, and women that experience this all the time, because if yeast overgrows, they can have a vaginal yeast infection. It didn't come from anywhere. Your immune system was compromised.
Yes.
So tests like this, for example, test the whole microbes of your body that can run havoc in your body, cause a ton of things to happen in a bad way that way. And so we're actually, I love the test. It's an expensive test.
Yes, it is.
And I make it very clear, I don't get it for free. I'm going to pay for it for somebody to get it done.
And the consult that goes along with it.
Yes, you can have a consult with our doctor for free. So it's about $1,000 right there.
Yes.
And the great thing is, once again, we do it because, once again, I want to change the direction of somebody's life that way. So I'm giving it away. There's nothing attached to it. You don't have to buy anything. It's just here.
That's right.
There's more. No, it's here. Here's what it tells you. You can choose to do what you want from there that way, but it's good to know where your body's at.
Absolutely. And I love this because you're putting something out there that says, a lot of people are like, I don't want your crap. I don't want your crap. No.
I want your crap.
We want your crap because your crap tells a story.
It tells a good story.
It tells a really good story, actually, and it's what...
And the drawing, for example, every time we have the show like today, every time that you comment, Nancy and Brandon and Brianna are actually our new intern. We got another intern starting. It's kind of cool. If you want to intern at the greatest place to work in the world, intern right here.
Get in touch with me.
Yes, get in touch with us. We have the greatest time here. What happens, what we're doing, things are happening. We're getting our message everywhere that way. It's very exciting. But what happens is if you write something, right, you say hi.
Every day, 8 o'clock.
Every day, 8 o'clock, we put something out there.
That's right, on
just
this page.
like and share it and actually put the answer to a comment in there that way.
That's right.
And it goes in a drawing.
That's right.
And you have over 15 chances to be in the drawing. So when we pull your name, you could win the free test that way. You understand?
That's right.
And that's the greatest part. But you have to like and share it. You have to go to my YouTube channel and like it. Okay. And we check it. No joke.
We check every day.
Nancy Gruzy is actually meticulous about it.
FNG.
Yes. She is actually our she keeps us to the details. Otherwise, we never get anything done.
No.
Okay. But
know,
today,
right?
what we're going to do, we're going to give you, because once again, I have to give away something every single time I'm on the air.
That's right.
I just have to.
Our warehouse is almost empty. We've been giving away so much stuff.
I don't care. I've been blessed. I want to bless others, and it's okay. You can't. Like I said, we live by me and Ross live by a very strong rule, and this is our faith that way. You can't outgive the giver.
No, you sure can't.
You can't. So he said, so there's nothing wrong with giving from your heart with nothing expected back.
I'm sitting here with no pants because I gave them away. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's why I'm like this. Okay. But here's what happens.
He's back.
So what happens, one of my favorite products is just a great magnesium that way. And once again, so we created our own because the company we were using before had some toxic stuff come in there.
Yes.
So we created our own. Remember, if you don't give us great stuff, we'll create it. Okay. So this is a amazing tested, because you know me guys, we test a third-party tester for purity that way. And since we're talking so much about crap, once again, actually relaxes your intestinal tract and you will crap. Okay?
You really will.
So here's the thing. The first person, so I'm going to say this because the first person that writes in the comments, now let me say this. If you're one of my doctors across the country, you do not win. Okay, so all the doctors are like, oh, I'm going to know this answer. So if you work here at the Green Bay office, or you are actually a part of the Wellness Way, you do not get to participate in this. So what happens is this, and Nancy will be like, if someone answers it, we'll let you know. My mother can't answer this. You will be denied. Yes, you will be denied. But the first person that is not actually an employee or tied to the Wellness Way, so you can be a patient, you can be actually a friend, you can just be a spectator of the show that way. And if you are the first person that writes in the date of my birthday and the year, you will get this. So, no, my mom's in the back of the show waving. No, Mom, you're not going to get this, okay? Yes, you have to, in the comments, write the month, date, and year that I was born. And the first person that gets it right actually gets this bottle of Relax. Now, remember, Nancy, if one of our doctors does it, just write comment under there. You do not win.
You do have the correct answer over there, right?
Yes.
So you can find them right away as soon as they comment. Beautiful.
Yes.
Hey, let's take a second here real quick. Let's say hi to everybody that's on with us. Janelle Marie Dawn Miller. She said, keep your pants on. They are. We've got Dr. Dennis Ciccone. Thanks for the happy welcoming back. Hey, we'll be seeing you this coming weekend.
Yes, we will.
Beautiful. Hey, speaking of that, we have our board meeting coming up here. We have a lot of the doctors that are a part of the Wellness Way flying from all over the country to come here so we can talk about the great things that are going to be taking place in 2018. It's going to be a phenomenal week, setting the stage for this coming weekend. So how are we doing on the comments? Hannah Grayeda.
1964.
Yeah, you just put him.
Wow.
At
okay, if I gave her a present, I want it back.
Dude, I'm just telling you, she just aged you.
She just aged me.
You can only say by how many years though?
Oh,
because we can't lock it in. Stephanie Kelly Haynes, we say hello to you as well. Annie Visser's, welcome back to the show again. It's good to see you back on. Dr. Ryan Miller, it's good to see you. I bet you're enjoying a beautifully warm day down where you're at, and we look forward to seeing you this coming weekend as well.
Sandy Fisher was close. Come on, Sandy. I expected you to know that. But she was close on there. So, Hannah, 1964. My goodness.
I do see a comment real quick. We just on a technical thing here. Doc's microphone. Are we getting if we can get a thumbs up? We're all good. Great. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. Mom's watching again. Hello, Mom. Good to see you on here again today.
And actually, emojis. Poop emojis. Yes. Guys, poop emojis. Hey, Nancy, do we have the poop emoji? Can you throw the poop emoji up right here?
I want you crap.
Yeah, we want Crappy to come back and visit us.
Happy Crappy.
Okay.
Happy Crappy.
Excellent.
Happy Crappy Tuesday to you.
Yes. Thank you too, man.
Hey, man, we're going to have a good show today. It's excited to be back and tell you what, man. This first email question let us know at any point in time. Just, throw your hand up in the air and wave it around like you just don't care. Hey, let's see here. Well, does she have it?
I see. Who did it first? Because I see several. Put it this way. We'll let them keep on guessing and stuff like that. We'll see who get it right.
Find out who got the first.
Because you know what happens? I'm feeling a little bit giving away today.
Oh, is that right?
I think I might have to give out more than just one if they get it right.
Yes, because it's a happy
So let's
crappy
just
Tuesday.
keep them. It's a happy crappy Tuesday. So maybe we're actually going to have, because I want more people to poop normally. Maybe I'll have to give out a little bit more.
Hey.
Okay.
Give out a little bit more so you can poop out a little bit more.
That's right. So you're not so full of crappy.
That's correct. Well, anyways, getting back to our email today. It's a great email question because I've already not only personally been talked to about this twice this week.
Really?
There was a gentleman at church that sought me out and was talking to me. He's like, I've been struggling with seizures at this immediate onset, and they aren't able to really get him any answers and tell him as to why this is happening. Then we were just earlier this morning, I was sitting out as the docs and your RN Nicole Selesky were talking after their training this morning, and she said she had somebody reach out that was saying, they have somebody they know who was experiencing seizures or epilepsy, and this email that was sent in ties directly into that. So we hope that if you know somebody, you yourself or the individual who sent this in, get them to watch this. Forward this episode from today because this is going to be packed full of wonderful information that might get you to a place where you'll take action on the information that is given out, because that's the reason for the show. So let's just dive in, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right. So
I know we're going to be talking somewhat about seizures now that I know the setup for the question that way.
He doesn't know the questions as we're coming into this. That's why we want it raw, unscripted, and just shooting from the hip. But he does that very well. So here we go. I am writing to you because I have a friend who is a young lady who is being told by doctors that she might only have 5 to 6 years to live. They say that her body cannot go on with the amount of seizures she continues to experience.
Because you can die.
She is sick of going to all these doctors and is not at a place where she's at a place where she does not believe that anything can be done anymore. I would love to know your thoughts on the situation. Thank you, and love all of your information.
Wow.
There's a lot of people that really do struggle
with seizures.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
Okay.
Doctors saying 5 to 6 years can't live. The body just can't sustain the seizures.
Well, let's step back and say once again, seizures itself, for example, are very deadly. They really are. Okay, so everything that you talk about in that way, for example, can't be taken lightly because once again, if you have a bad enough episode, you can die.
Sure.
So with that said, let's go here. Okay, so if you look at, always step back. This is what you always got to do no matter what condition you have. So when a person says, okay, listen, the most common medication today given for seizures is Keppra. Okay, and it works. There is a reduction in seizures that way.
Sure.
Sometimes even with it, there's not a ton of reduction, but there's still some reduction. So you have to step back and go, what is the mechanism of action of the drug? Okay, in general, let's talk about it. It calms the brain down.
Okay.
Because the one thing that you'll find out in seizure activity, when they actually hook all the kids up to the wires, and even the adults that way, what they'll see, there's an overactivity to the brain.
Spikes with activity, yeah.
That's right, with a hyperactivity. So Keppra actually does a wonderful job of doing what? Calming that process down. So, once again, and if that excitation gets so bad, you can actually cause apoptosis and actually brain damage itself. So once again, seizures are very bad. Now, let's step back, okay? So if the brain's excitatory, it's not programmed to do that. Your body's not in a constant state of excitation that way. So there has to be something irritating in the brain.
Unless we're around. We excite everybody, okay? Good or bad. Right, exactly.
Okay? Sometimes not in a good way, okay?
We know this.
But here's what I want you to think about this way. So you have to step back and go, okay, what can be one of the most excitatory things to actually to the nervous system? Number one, toxicity. Number two, the immune response. The most excitatory neurotransmitter of the body actually is called glutamate. Glutamate. Sounds familiar, right?
Sure does.
Monosodium glutamate.
MSG. Also
MSG.
Now calling, you know what they're calling it now too?
What's that?
Spices.
Yeah, spices. And see what they do is this. So when we're presenting all these constant excitatory things on, the brain goes on overload, okay? Now, by far, here's one of the biggest things, and we're going to cover this in the next couple months. All right, we talked extensively about vaccines. I'm just hearing the stupidity of people talk about them. They have no clue because they said, my doctor said. I would tell you right now, your doctor's a moron, okay? And so he says stuff like that. What he does, he sets you up for health problems.
Sure.
Let me give you this. We talk about toxicity when it comes to neurological excitation. Your body, for example, tries to keep its bloodstream extremely clean and extremely balanced. So if something toxic gets in your bloodstream, it goes into cells very quickly. Guess what tissue has a high affinity for toxicity? Neurological tissue. It's why vaccines, for example, get massively absorbed in our neurological tissue, which cause massive excitation and damage to the nervous system. It's why, for example, that those vaccines actually do what? They absorb in the tissues. It causes our immune system to be excitatory, responding, not doing something wrong, responding, but can't get rid of it. So that massive irritation to the brain. So I can give you hundreds. See, the cool thing about being in practice for so long and having so many practices, I actually have so many clinical examples. I will actually use a name of a mother. I won't use her last name, but her name is Jessie. She's from the Appleton area. Her child came here with massive seizures, okay? And she's very vocal about it. That's why I know I can use her. And stuff like that, and I won't use her name.
Sure.
But their son came here, went down to Children's Hospital, had all the EKGs, all of everything, EEGs and everything done that way. And guess what happened during the process of removing actually vaccine damage, removing toxicity? The EEGs went down to the point to where the neurologist actually pulled him off his medications, and now he's been no seizures for multiple years. I've brought you my 4 or 5 years now, and once again, he's growing up to be a nice teenage boy. Where they said that, listen, he probably will never get a license. He'll probably do that.
Sure, well, can't drive, right?
And people say, but my doctor said.
Chemically dependent for the rest of his life.
Your doctor said that because they have no idea or no concept, and if you stick with them, within 5 to 6 years, that doctor's prediction is probably right.
Correct.
Go down a different path.
Yes.
You understand? So things that excite the brain, things that trigger the immune system, things, for example, that actually cause toxicity to the body that way, can actually cause massive excitation of the brain. The brain is not meant to be in hypersensitivity. But here's one thing that's interesting. This is where sometimes chiropractors, they make a mistake on this. They talk so much about the nervous system controlling things, okay? They're missing a big part that the majority of our nervous system is sensory.
That's good.
Input coming into it. So what comes into it can change what goes out of it that way. So when these kids are stimulated by light and stimulated by sound, and their nervous system is already overstimulated that way, a light can trigger a seizure. Now, it wasn't the darn light, because otherwise all of us would have a seizure right now.
Right.
But because the brain is so on, it's like this. I know it's never happened, okay? Someone comes home to their wife, and they've had a really stressful, high, tense day. And the husband walks in and says, "Hi, honey." And because she's so irritated already, she snaps your head off. Okay?
Never happened.
Never happens to a man.
No.
Okay? What happens? Was it you saying hi to her? No, it was just one more pebble in the shoe.
Yeah, you were the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly. So that's the point. The body is so excitatory. So that's why you can actually run, once again, let me give you an example of this little boy, but I've got hundreds. It's kind of a procedure that way, that if a person comes in, start testing, let me say again, start testing for all the excitatory things.
Yes.
You can test basic excitatory hormones. You can actually test urinary glutamate levels that way. Okay, it's a simple P test that way. You can test some of the peripheral neurotransmitters that do circulate through the bloodstream and actually excrete out through the urine, and see how excitatory the body is trying to get rid of that way. Most of these kids' brains are highly excitatory. AK, what do you think? Children that are on the autism spectrum.
Sure.
Children, for example, that suffer from any hypersensitivity, including what I grew up with, and my mom's sitting right on the other side of this camera right now.
All of those. Yep, same here.
Okay.
Absolutely. So really, once again, what you're saying is, even though we were just talking about doing a poop test,
yes,
that's everything. That's the premise of what we do with the Wellness Ways. We don't guess, we test. So the idea that you are looking for information to convey to this young woman who's at a place of desperation and believes that there's nothing to do, it's because you're not going to a place that is really going to test to really find out what is triggering. And every single one of our doctors in the Wellness Way in all of our offices are set up to do these tests and to succeed at getting you the information you're looking for.
Well, and what happens this, guys, this is going to be, I hate to say this, but because you've been conditioned since you're little, this is going to be tough to accept. Most of your doctors don't know jack shit about anything.
That's right.
And they share their experience like what they say is true. Let me give you an example. This even neurologist, if they said she'll be dead in 5 to 6 years, it's true. Because why? Because they don't see any other pattern. They don't know what to do. And so therefore, guess what? It's their opinion. And they think that that's the end opinion. And I'm telling you right now, that's not true. You know what I'm saying?
If you stay with them, though, their opinion becomes
right.
Truth.
And so, and because now here's what happens. In their own arrogance, in their own stupidity, they tell the patient this is the only thing you can do.
Yes.
Once again, guys, medical profession does not own the human body.
That's right.
My goodness. They act like, well, my doctor said. I don't care what your doctor said. If your doctors were so damn right, why are we at an all-time high for all sicknesses? Honestly.
And we say this all the time. I hear you say that all the time, that we're at an all-time high for cancer, for diabetes, for any of these things, but it's the truth.
Get this. So here's what happens. Because I'm actually going to do a quick tip on why anything but your medical doctor is smarter and why you should go with them instead of them.
Write that down.
Now, let me explain why. So here's what happens. I just pulled out some great research statistics, and I'm going to use this on my quick tip. Heart disease continues to climb significantly every single year.
Yes.
Death of heart disease actually has become, we've lived longer. See, here's the confusion. We've created in medicine techniques to actually save our life. Yes. But don't confuse that they can keep you from getting heart disease.
That's right.
Well, my doctor said this. Yes, and you're going to end up with heart disease just like everybody else, because top 2 reasons why people die are heart disease and cancer. Sure. Okay? And if you stay on their thinking, you're going to end up with one of those 2. 2 out of 3 will end up with cancer. 1 out of 3 is going to end up with heart disease.
They want to prolong the dysfunction and your lifestyle without having to change it and to change the way that you're thinking. That's
like that mother last week that when you were going on the show said that they saved my preemie. Yeah, do you understand that 50 years ago, if your child was born at 30 weeks, it probably died. Because of medical advancements, they lived.
Sure.
It doesn't mean they know how to raise a healthy child.
That's exactly
because
right.
once again, Childhood diseases, yes, we've become better at saving. I guarantee in the next 50 years, that baby could probably be born at 15 weeks because of medical technology.
And it would live.
And live.
That's right.
But guess what? Over the last 25, 30 years, remember when I first started practice, type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset. But kids are getting sicker younger and younger and younger and younger. So this concept that if you listen to your general practitioner, once again, just ask them, what should I get? Cancer or heart disease? Because that's what you end up with.
Exactly.
Because their thinking is so wrong.
And I love what you just said a few minutes ago in this amazing rant of information is you've been conditioned. I have been conditioned. I'm just being really brought to a place where I have to challenge the information that I've been given. Will you do the same thing? That's really the question. That's why this show exists. That's why she's sending out this heartfelt plea to find information, and hopefully, once again, you'll act upon it. And I really do think that, sure, you can share hundreds of stories about how this is going to work or how you're able to help children who have been dealing with seizures. We can tell you all those stories, but what are you going to do with the information?
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be that sheeple.
Yep.
You like that word.
I love
smile
sheeple.
every time you say
love
it. Sheeple. And that's really, this is all meant to change your paradigm and the way that you approach healthcare.
It's really funny because my mom is sitting behind there.
Yes,
She's just kind of relaxing that way. Mom used to always tell me I was a black sheep.
Black sheep of the family?
That's right. And that's okay. Do you say that? Because I always went in a different direction.
That's right.
And remember, and I caused her some mental pain for going a different direction, but guess what?
Yes.
Now, because I've gotten other people to think differently. Not like I said, just reason. Simple, basic reason that way. Because what happens is anything that I say today, people say, Doc, you're mean. I will stop being mean when they stop saying such stupid crap.
I don't think it's mean. I think people today have a hard time hearing truth. Therefore, you're put into the box of being mean and insensitive. No, what you're doing is you're challenging ignorance. You're challenging stupidity.
Well, let me show you.
That's really what I think. And people need to own up to it and shut up and shut your pie hole.
Shut your pie hole.
There we go.
Remember, it's kind of funny.
Episode 1. Your pie hole.
I actually got a great. People wonder why, for example, like our doctors, are so intense about what we do. Because once again, after all this, it's kind of neat, and I can actually pull up my Facebook and messages that way. I got this beautiful picture of a woman who actually, her and her husband, and here's what happens. This is what she went through. Okay, no joke. 5 years of marriage. 4+ years of countless doctor visits and unanswered questions, 3 rounds of IVF, which cost $20,000 to $30,000 a piece.
Good Lord.
Yes, but guess what? In all of this suffering and sadness, but finally, 2018, baby, and I don't want to use the name because I don't have permission, to give it private that way. But the mama and dad sent me a picture of them holding up a little onesie. Do you say,
baby on the way?
Now, guess what? But her doctor, her endocrinologist, her IVF specialist said you cannot have a baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, guess what? From their experience and what they are conditioned and trained to do, they were right from their perspective. But the whole idea is this. It's time, guys.
Yes.
I'm not joking. It's time for people to get a different perspective. It's why Dr. Shannon Pierce and I had this conversation. Dr. Shannon, for example, has become a thyroid master. She's just tearing it up.
She's passionate about it.
She's passionate.
Yes.
She lives it personally that way. And guess what happened? She's like, people will come to her and say, but Doc, my endocrinologist, which has a better degree than you do, is smarter than this. No, they're not. No, they're not. If they were, why the heck are people at an all-time high for thyroid disease?
Right.
No, she's smarter than they are and stuff like that. And that's one thing. So it's not an arrogant thing. It's like, just keep your mouth shut, docs, and just say, I don't know. This happened the other day. So one of my patients over from Stevens Point, because now once again, guys, I know I get a ton of emails. Guys, let me clear this up. I don't take any new patients, but I've been practiced for 19 years. I have women that would kill me if I didn't take care of them. So I still see some patients on Mondays. All right. So, but that doesn't mean you can call and tell my staff that you need to see me because I don't take any new patients. We have great doctors that do that all over the country. Go see them. Okay. But even on Monday, I actually had this wonderful lady that came in for a thyroid problem. She actually had Graves where her thyroid was so elevated, and their thing was we're going to kill it with radioactive iodine, and then we're going to rip it out. We're going to put you on levothyroxine the rest of your life. That is so ridiculous, but that's standard procedure from the way they think.
Yes.
Standard procedure. Well, it's great because guess what happens? They never test her properly. We did. Now, here's the great thing about her female doc. We just had her thyroid levels ran again. And the great thing about this woman, she's very aggressive, and the doctor says, listen, even if I run all these, now she's ran them like 4 times, right? Because actually everything went back to normal now. She doesn't have any medication or anything that way. And so this is years, now it's I think 2 years been taken care of that way. But once again, a re-checkup for 6 months later. Guess what happened? The doctor says, even if something comes back on this bad, I don't know what to do with it. But you know about that doctor? That doctor I love.
Yes. At least he was being honest.
Because if someone comes to me and says, Dr. Flynn, I want you and all your wellness ways to do cardiovascular surgery because I'm going to have a heart attack. We're going to say,
decision.
Go to the hospital and go to them to save your life. That's their job.
I try.
Don't see me? Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Not here, he doesn't try. But that's the thing. We know what our expertise is. But when they impinge on the aspect of acting like they know everything just because it's a human body, that's why all these problems exist.
Yes.
We, as a Wellness Way docs, or any of our docs, live within what we know, for example, is right, and we won't back down. And on top of it, we're the clinically best at it that way. So when the doctors give you an opinion on something they don't know, they're actually just really what they're doing. They're hurting people, literally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the woman that sent out this email, please contact her. Let her know. Let her watch this
show.
Get her in touch with a Wellness Way that is near them, or call and get in touch with a Wellness Way doc so that you can eliminate this position that she is in right now, this posture of doubt and hopelessness in life. If she wants to stay in that place where unfortunately she's going to listen to the tale that is being put out in front of her from the doctors of her 5 to 6 year lifespan, then
he's right.
Then he's right. Mm-hmm. And that's hard for you to probably even hear. And for some of you, it's cold and callous, and how dare you could say such a thing. Well, once again, when you're given the information and potential next step to take that 5 to 6 years and turn it into a different story, why wouldn't you want to?
Here, get this. There's a lot of times, and I'm going to use my mother, for example, because she's here today.
Yes.
Okay. She's like, because we'll have family members, and she'll say, can you reach out to them? You know, my answer is, no, I won't reach out to them. Well, what's going to happen? Let them die. We can't chase people. We can't care more than they do.
Yes. That's a great point.
I'm sorry. I'm not being mean about it. Do you know something? I actually had a great conversation with a doc recently, of one of our docs, because they're new in practice. They're newly starting to do this that way. They said, Doc, I know I can help these people. I just want to tell everybody. I said, don't. He's like, what? I say, because if you do, all you're going to do is end up heartbroken.
My first 3
years in practice, I was heartbroken constantly because I'm like, I can help them. And I watch their kids get their tonsils taken out. I watch these kids get vaccines and they go into seizures and things like that. And I'm like, and I just had to, it sounds funny, I just stopped caring.
Yep.
Because
it's not your fault.
I can't care more than they do that way.
Exactly.
And you say, but Doc, the doctors are convincing them. You know something? You know when people are finally do something is when everything doesn't work. Yep. You're saying, I wish people would come here initially, but they don't. They go through all the destructiveness. They go through all the stuff. And then finally, they'll call you if you're lucky enough.
It's through the conditioning.
Yep.
It is. It's through the conditioning of the years. It's from your parents, your grandparents, and everybody else around you that tells you that an approach like this is crazy.
Yep.
And it's not crazy. Because just like you said, when everything is falling down around you, when your world is falling down around you, and you all of a sudden come knocking on the door, it's not so crazy then.
Exactly. So it's going to be kind of fun watching what happens over the years.
Absolutely. We got 2 minutes left. We're going to give another giveaway. So what do you want to do here? You want another one of these bad boys brought up here, or do you just want to say this is what you're getting and what's the next?
Yeah, that's what they're going to get.
All right,
so I'm going to see how many people, and I see who does it first. That way I can check it that way. So remember, my birthday, what the year, what the date,
who got
what time.
That one, by the way? Bring it on up, ladies and gentlemen. Our own version of Vanna White.
Yes, my nephew Brandon. That's right. Thank you.
There you go.
Very nice.
All right. So what do we have?
We have several of them that got it right.
All right.
Nice. Holly Supa got it first.
Here you go,
and
Holly.
Some of that.
This is
Holly,
for you.
she's awesome.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give away, because there's several other women that did, so I'm going to give away several of them today.
All right. Sounds good.
And some of that, because once again, guys, I always appreciate you guys watching. I always appreciate you guys listening to the information I have to do. Holly, congratulations being the first one that did it today and stuff like that. And there's other people that have done it, and I'm going to send out more than one today, because once again, it's a beautiful thing, because it's going to help lots of people on a regular basis that way. So
I want to throw this out real quick.
Yes.
Things how we're coming down to 1:17. This coming Saturday at 7 o'clock in the morning, correct? 7 a.m.
Oh.
You are going to be doing a quick tip with a co-host, Dr. Alex Fenley from our
Montana office. And she has quite a personal story that just recently happened.
What's your topic?
Mold.
And we've been even hearing a lot about this right now. I talked with somebody earlier today who is struggling with the onset of mold, and it is just reaping havoc inside of their bodies. So you make sure that you tune in to the Dr. Patrick Flynn, the Hormone Whisperer Facebook page for 7 a.m. Saturday morning, where Doc and Dr. Alex Fenley
We're going to
about
co-host it, because she has
going to be amazing.
Well, she has a personal experience with it.
Yes, she does.
So
I hope she has the picture.
Yeah, well, we do. We're actually going to put the picture where she found mold, guys. You're not going to believe it.
Yeah, don't
and
say.
Ladies, ladies. No, I'm not going to tell them. I
Yep.
want them to tune in on Saturday. And guess what? We're almost came close. We got so many names for our new upcoming hormonal series that we're starting. And so that Nancy's like shaking her head. Man, there's a ton. Guys, keep on doing it because remember, once again, whoever actually gets in it gets actually doubled in the drawing that way. So, appreciate you guys for watching today.
It's an awesome
appreciate the constant
episode.
feedback.
Why?
Constant questions.
Yes,
we love those.
the questions. We cannot do the show without your questions. If you have emails, make sure that you do email us. We want to know so we can answer them effectively.
I'm checking them right now.
We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you Saturday morning for the Quick Tip.